Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Ladies in Red. Thank you for taking the time to come and join us tonight. I'm joined by a very special guest, and I'm so glad that we've got him back on. I'm joined, of course, by Webby. You don't really need an introduction, but thank you so much, Webby, for joining us. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. Can't wait for Saturday. You know, it's been a long time. Can't wait to be back in that crowd, full house, plenty of singing with my mates in my seat. Leeds United at home. It's like Christmas Day. What more do we want as Reds?
It's spot on. And what a game to start with Leeds. Obviously, we'll get straight into that in a minute. And I can't wait to talk about it because I haven't done a preview or anything yet. I obviously haven't spoke to you much about it. So, yeah, I mean, what a start. Like, if you can't get up for Leeds United at home, first game of the season with the fans back in, is there any point in even playing, Webby?
No. You know, as growing up as a kid, you know, people Leeds with the team, you know, the early 90s when they picked us for the league, you know, great battles with them, playing them. I remember playing them 3 times in a week in the league, then the 2 cup games, great rivalry. The Leaf Sharp shuffle in the semi-final of the Littlewoods Cup, you know. There was 1,800 of us in the corner because there was disputes over tickets with both clubs. But people used to say to me, used to laugh at Leeds when Leeds missed out. You want to go to Leeds away, you want to go to Welland Road, it's a massive ground. You don't want to go to Bournemouth away, that's no disrespect to Bournemouth. You want Leeds United, and when we've got these fixtures, Tony, it was like Christmas Day, it still is now. You know, he's got a big grin on his face and really can't wait for Saturday, 12:30.
Bless him. At least it's an early kick-off as well, so at least on Saturday. Or if it was a Sunday late kick-off as well, I hate that when you're waiting all weekend, you've seen everyone else play. So at least it's that early kick-off as well. I'm buzzing for it, and obviously you are as well, and Tony is. But yeah, Leeds at home as well. Fans being back in, everything just feels so right. I'm just hoping that United get out of the blocks quick. Obviously, Sancho's been in training today, and we'll start with Sancho, actually. Obviously, we've seen the pictures of him in training and whatnot. How do you feel about that Sancho signing? Does that excite you?
Yeah, because, you know, it's no disrespect to Mason, but Mason's a centre-forward down the middle. You know, that's where they'll get his trade. You know, I'm not going to knock him. He did a great job for us there, and I'm a big fan of Dan James. You know, you look at when Dan James come into the team last year, we went on a run, I think it was 11 wins and 2 draws, you know, and he makes Wan-Bissaka a better player for me. And he always plays in the big games. But you look at Sancho there, it's something we're missing, you know, dancing around that final ball, which probably lets Dan James down quite a few times. You know, he's got the pace, got the trickery. Don't have to play out on the right, can play on the left. And it was always going to happen. He was going to sign for United, you know. We've waited a bit longer. We've got the right price. And I just can't wait for the kid to get started, you know. I want to be sat on the edge of my seat at Old Trafford like Ronnie used to do, like Ryan used to do. We're not that for a few years. But I think this kid, with the right people around him, can make not just me, but the other 70,000 United fans get on the edge of the seat. And that's what we deserve at Old Trafford, you know. We've been brought up on it. You know, I remember Stevie Coppell, what a player he was, Kanchelskis, Lee Sharp, Giggs, and then Ronaldo. And since then, we've not had it. And I hope this kid, putting pressure on him, that he can make us a lot more happy and he will make us a better team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert on Sancho, and I've seen everything. If I'm honest, he's got to prove to me. But obviously, he's a very exciting prospect. He's a player that we've been linked to for a long time, and I'm so glad that the deal's done. We've finally seen him in a United shirt, and it just felt like you say a long time coming, but it's finally here. He's got a point to prove in the Premier League, hasn't he? And I love the fact that obviously he's ex-City and he's come to United. His name's in lights, like you say, he can go and make himself Old Trafford against Leeds on Saturday. I hope that he features and I hope that we see something special from him. The girls are joining us. Natalie and Nicole will be on, guys. If you are wondering where are they are joining us. In fact, Natalie's just jumped in, so we'll get her in very shortly. But James says, evening ladies, evening Webby, evening all. Hope you are doing well. Evening to Shivan as well. Evening to Curlers. It says, bless your heart, love your content, mate. Curlers is a big fan. Big up to Nat, she's here. Natalie, how you doing?
Nat, evening.
Yes. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on as always, and always coming on and bigging it up. And Webby's my man. Love Webby.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, obviously, when I got Webby, I messaged Webby and I said, would you be up for coming on? He said, yeah. I knew Nicole and Nat would be loving to come on because last time we had you on, I think I could have spoke to you for hours and hours afterwards. Like, so many stories and whatnot. And obviously, like I say, Leeds at home and these signings coming in. But Sancho is one we're excited about. Nat, do you feel the same as Webby in that one, that you can get you on the edge of your seat?
Yeah, defo. I think, He's going to be running at people, goals and assists. It's exciting. I'm excited to see him and what he's going to do, tear it up, light it up. And the fans are going to be all like behind him, buzzing for him. So it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for it. Thank you to Fella with a Seller for that. I really appreciate it, that nice compliment. And thank you for the contribution as well. But yeah, obviously, Sancho, another name coming in as well is Varane. Varane is a player that I have wanted for a long, long time. I've got to be honest. He's a player that was linked to us when we had Van Gaal in charge. And obviously, that never transfigured. It never happened. We finally got him now. Webby, do you think that signing is enough to make us compete for that title now? Because we said we needed a centre-back for a long time. Is he? Do you think is he what we needed, or do you still think we need that CDM?
No, obviously he's someone we need. That's nothing against Lindelof, you know what I mean? He had a great Euros, and for me, you know, just now and again he switches off. You look at the goal at West Brom, you know, the other goal where he gets bullied off the ball. For me, you don't get that with Varane. He's a bit of a beast, you know what I mean? He's a bit of a baller as well, and you don't play for Real Madrid for 10 years if you're not that good, you know what I mean? Got him at a great price, a great age, you know what I mean? He's coming through the best parts of his career, and hopefully he stays fit, and you know that'll bring Maguire on, it'll bring Shaw on, it'll bring Wan-Bissaka on, it'll bring De Gea on. You know, you've got that confidence in your back four. You start at the back and you go forward, and I just think it's a great signing, you know. And I don't think he'll play Saturday, you know, with the quarantine rules and obviously not training with a team yet. But you know, there would have been a lot of teams after him, and I'm so glad that he's picked Man United, you know, and we get the best years out of him.
Yeah, especially on the back of that Euros, Maguire was outstanding as well. Yeah. Nat, Varane and Maguire at the back, does that excite you? Like, do you feel confident with them two as a centre-back partnership? And like Webby said, no disrespect to Lindelof, but Varane with his experience and what he's achieved in his career, like, what a signing that is.
I was with you, Soph. I wanted him back way when, even when before, like, you know, he went to Madrid, I was like, oh, let's get Varane. There was all this hype around him, and I think Fergie wanted him and all that. And so now he's come, you're just like, oh, thank God. And then, like you say, you're hearing people say, oh, is he this? Is he past it? And I'm thinking, playing at Real Madrid, how many Champions Leagues has he won? Come on, like, this is what, like, the level that we've been waiting for, and people still trying to find excuses for it. No, it's a top quality signing. I'm buzzing, and, you know, he's made good signings, really good signings. I mean, I don't know, there might be another third signing, who knows, but I'm happy. I'm happy with what we got so far. I think, you know, we can, you know, add to that defence. Like you said, nothing against Lindelof, but I think, you know, two solid players there now. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm buzzing with that. I'm so big up to Rahul, because I know it's like just after midnight now where you are. So thank you for taking the time to come and say hello. I really do appreciate that. Acid says, welcome to Ladies in Red at last Webby, and evening to Soph and Nat as well. But yeah, I'm buzzing for this. You mentioned Varane and Sancho. Obviously, Pogba was one that a lot of people felt, is he going to stay or is he going to go? It's seeming more apparent now that he's going to stay. What's your thoughts on that? If he does stay, do you think he needs to sign that deal, or are you worried that, again, we could lose him on a free for a second time, maybe?
Well, for me, you know, we spoke about it with Tony and other people, that he's got to sign before the game Saturday, you know, because if he's not, then I always look at the Steve McManaman, and I don't really like speaking about Liverpool, but when he was going to Madrid, he just basically took the mick out of Liverpool in my eyes. He wasn't going for tackles, he was going out of the way because he didn't want to destroy his dream move, you know. And I've got nothing against footballers. It could be a short career, let him make as much as he wants. But for me, he's got to sign it, but he's never coming out and saying he wants to stay. Every time the noise, it's his agent, and he's saying stupid things. You know, for me, he's got to sign the deal now. With Varane coming, you know, he's a teammate of France. Was that going to make him stay? I just want to make a decision. If you don't want to be here, then we've lost bigger and better players, and the club survived. If you want to stay, sign that piece of paper and get on with it, because we know what he can do. But for me, he doesn't do it all the time. You know, if I'm up against him, I'm thinking, I'm not going to be in a right match here. But for me, I don't know. I want him to stay, but his heart's got to be at the club 101%. If he's not, then it's goodbye, and we wish him all the best.
Totally agree with that. G said there, Chiellini and Bonucci. Other than that, who's better than Maguire and Varane as a centre-back partnership? I mean, it is an exciting prospect, definitely, to see them two together. But yeah, in terms of Pogba, I'm the same as you, Webby. I think if you want to be at the club, you show the fans that you want to be there, you sign that deal. Every time there has been these rumours, which is fair enough, we know what his agent is like, we know that he stirs the pot a lot. Pogba just needs to come out and just show the fans that he's loyal to this club, and he just doesn't do that, does he? He goes along with it. He's kind of like he likes to wind people up. He likes to be the centre of the attention. I'm just hoping that he does come in, because I think Paul Pogba is a world-class player, do not get me wrong. Maybe Messi going to PSG now as well might change the fate for Pogba in the sense that they're not going to go in for him. I mean, Nat, what's your thoughts on it? Do you agree that before Saturday he needs to sign that contract to prove to the fans his loyalty?
Yeah, because, you go and you watch Pogba, and when you're in the Stretford end and people are saying to you, F him off, not because, this and that, but because he's not with it, he's not 100%, he's not giving his all. And I think he got a good reception, but I think, like you say, we want him to stay, we want him to be he played well last season without fans. I think he'll play well this season, but is it just a game waiting, ticking down? Pirates aren't going to bid for him now, but are they saying, well, come in next year? And obviously there will be teams saying, next year we've got you, but we're not paying for you, and so that means he's going to stay at United. And obviously you don't want someone who's half in it. You want someone who's fully committed. And I think Donny's going to do well. And I don't know if you touched on it, but I do think he's been in the gym, he's bulked up. I think it's his time to shine for me. I think
Van der Bulk.
If Pogba doesn't sign, maybe phase him out slowly. I don't know. I don't know that all the answers.
It's hard, isn't it? Because Pogba might well be thinking, I want to see how we get on this season before I make a decision. But as a fan, it's really hard, isn't it, to watch a player who is kind of not holding the club to ransom, but calling the shots basically. Like, you don't want to see that.
Soph, I don't think I think we could win the league and he'll still go, at the end of the season. I think if he was going to sign, he
would have done it.
But then I think, we could. But I just think we all know what happens with all these pre-contracts anyway. By January, they're signed up at another club, and obviously you don't want to see that.
Yeah. And if it is the case where he has to stay at United because Messi's gone to PSG, again, you don't want that situation either. You don't want a player who's kind of stuck at the club when he doesn't really want to be there, do you? You want players who want to play for Manchester United, and I think that's the issue with Paul Pogba, isn't it? You want players who want to be at the club, and when he's not coming out and talking about these rumours, it seems less and less like that's what he wants, doesn't it? So, we'll see what happens with Paul Pogba. But you mentioned Donny there. Obviously, we said we're going to delve into Donny today. Good pre-season. Van der Bulk is being called Van der Beek by a lot of people because he has bulked up in the gym. He's obviously working hard. Missed out on the Euros, but that could well play into his hands because obviously he's been working hard. He's been trying to get fit and ready for the Premier League. Where do you see him featuring this season, Webby? Like, obviously a lot of people think he could be that pivot, that CDM, but with who? I think that's the question, because you mentioned if Donny comes into that middle, where's Paul Pogba going to go then? There's a lot of players to try and cram into that middle, especially with McFred there as well. Obviously, a lot of people will laugh at that, but Ollie obviously trusts them too.
Yeah, no, definitely. We know what he can do. We've seen that at Ajax before we signed. When he got to the semi-final, a lot of big teams were after him. He chose us, and to be honest, I felt sorry for him, especially if you look at the Leicester game in the cup where they got brought in. He'd not played. For me, Van der Beek has got to play 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on the bounce, and we'll see the best of him. There's no point in putting him in for 2, out for 3, then in again.
Yeah. You're frozen there, Webby?
Can you see me? Am I here? Am I going?
Nixon.
I'm back. Did someone join us?
Yeah.
And I just think he's a great player, and he just needs those games, and it'll work perfect for us. We've seen how well he worked with Matic against Everton on Saturday. It was absolutely superb for that first half, So for me, like you're saying, he's worked hard, and it will work in our benefit that he's not been in the Euros. He's had a nice little break. For me, he starts on Saturday, and if he's fit, he stays in that team, and we will see the player we bought from Ajax and the player what a lot of other top teams around Europe wanted to buy. Definitely. Yeah.
There's obviously a player in there. She has just creeped in. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. She is back. Nick, how you doing?
I'm all right. Am I all right? You can see me all right and everything.
We can see you all right. You're all good.
All right. So, hi, Webby. Hi, Nat.
Hello.
You all good?
Yeah.
I feel a bit out of sorts. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while, but it's good to have you back, Nick. Looking radiant as ever. That's what I say.
Thank you. It's a lie.
You may have heard Nick. It's not a lie. We were just talking about Donny van der Beek, and we were saying, like, where do we see him fitting in this season? I mean, what's your thoughts on, firstly, Van der Bulk? A lot of people are calling him. What's your thoughts on, obviously, how hard he's been working pre-season to get himself fit and ready for the Premier League? And also, like, can you see him playing more games this season?
First of all, hubba, go on, son. Second of all, I was listening to Webby there, and it's like the main thing is he needs a run of games. Oh, okay.
I'll kill that, Johnny.
What am I saying? I'm going to get him with that quote. What was I saying?
you want to bet Donny van der Beek? The way we've seen this season.
See what happens when I come back on. Whew. So, as Webby was saying, it probably puts me in a sexy pose. As Webby was saying, I think it all depends on him giving game time, because we've seen last season everyone screaming for him to play, and then he has one game and obviously he's not 100%, and then everyone's screaming for him not to play. So give him a proper chance. Yeah. Give him a run of games. Give him a proper chance. And it would be a shame for us not to get like the best of him after everything that happened and the way that we signed him. It was like a bit of a magical moment, and I think, why not give him a proper chance?
I agree. Nat, Donny, this season, this is like make or break for him. Do you think he's going to push on? A lot of people have got a good feeling about him this season. He looks determined. He looks focused. Like I say, a very good pre-season as well. And in that, to be fair, with Matic in that midfield, I thought we looked very balanced.
I think he's going to play the games. I think, like what Webby says, I think if he has a good start, keep playing. I don't see why you would bring anyone else in or swap it about. Yeah, obviously, players are coming back in slowly, but, it's on other players to earn it. If he's playing the game, why would you take someone out who's playing very well? So I think whether, him and Matic start, yeah, okay, let's go. And if, it's on, like I said, it's on someone else to have it to earn it. And then, like I was saying about Pogba, if he don't want to sign that deal, Donny's here. You don't need to sort of come back in. I know the different positions we're talking about, but for me, you don't need to come back in. This guy wants to play here. He should be playing the minutes. And and unless you want to sort of take that shirt off him, grab it, and then it's the same guy playing.
If you're Donny, then you're seeing Pogba. If Pogba openly doesn't want to be there, playing in your spot when you've just signed a deal, obviously at this club, and you want to try and make it. Like, it'd be frustrating for Donny seeing a player ahead of him who doesn't even want to be there, wouldn't it? So I'm hoping that Donny does get the chance to play and prove himself, because there's
like little sad face.
Yeah, like Webby said, there's a lot of teams who wanted him. He's obviously a very talented player, and we get to see the best of him. And I just hope that we do see that. We've been linked to a lot of midfielders. I mean, me and Webby were just talking about a few just off air now, so obviously we'll delve into that. But I mean, as he said there, Nevers, it feels like would be a very good acquisition for us. What's your thoughts on Nevers, like Webby, being linked to him? I know there's another player you'd rather have.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. He's done well at Wolves. They were talking 80-90 million a couple of years ago for him, and I think the price tag's come down. He's Nevers a player we want. We've got Bruno. We've got some great kids coming through the ranks. That's stopping another kid coming through for me, and I really don't think we need him. For me, there's the people talk about the kid Kanté at Chelsea. They're the big threat this season. And I like the kid Ndidi at Leicester. We get him. If we could get him, we won't be a million miles away from winning the league. I watched him a bit of him on Saturday. There was a play where someone had got through and he chased back 40 yards and he took him out, got the ball and played it simple. That's what he does. He doesn't try and hit 40, 50 yard passes. You look at the great players in the Premier League. I look at Patrick Vieira, no doubt about it. He was one of the greatest midfield players in the Premier League. All he did was win the ball and give it simple. He wasn't trying to beat 4 or 5 men, which some players do. But for me, Nevers, I'm not too sure we need him, but if the price is right, then we'll have a go. But indeed, he's the man for me. If we could get him, it'd be a perfect transfer window.
I feel like with Nevers, I think if Pogba goes, then I think that signing becomes more likely. But if Pogba stays, then I think obviously it's less likely that Nevers will come in. I think Nevers is a very good player. He's obviously proven in the Premier League as a leader as well. He captained Porto, I think, when he was like 18 years old. He's obviously a very good ball player. But I do agree with you. We want someone who's going to be disciplined in front of that back four, win it and give it, win it and give it. Nevers is known for his long ball, obviously his long range passing. But like I say, he's proven in the Premier, he's a very good player, and for 35 million, I think he'd be a good buy. But we're already saying here, like, how's Donny going to fit in? How's Pogba going to fit in? You're adding another similar player in there where it's like, I already fear for Ollie. I'm glad that I'm not Ollie, because that headache that he's got at the minute trying to choose that midfield is crazy, isn't it? And someone's always going to miss out unless he's going to accommodate and put Pogba at left like he has done in the past. But I would rather see someone like Martial given a chance there. We want Martial this season, I think, is make or break. Skinhead Tony, yeah. What do you reckon, Nick? He's got a new hairdo. Thierry Henry, a lot of people comparing him to. Do you reckon he's going to show us some of that Baba boom this season?
Do you know what, right? With Tony, you know me, like I've always said to you in modern years, like post-Fergie, one of my best moments at Old Trafford, honestly, and this isn't because I'm like a big Martial fan, because I also got stick for doing the opposite. Was it last season? And I was saying, if he put the effort in that Daniel James put in with his talent, he would excel even more. So I always do it fairly. But in recent years, one of the best days I had at Old Trafford was his debut and that goal that he come on and scored, and that's what frustrates him so much because I know it's in there. So I hope that his skinhead is like Rooney skinhead, and we just we get the absolute best out of him. Why not?
I hope that too. I mean, Nat, what's your thoughts on Martial? There's been a few times, Webby, where I've called him Anthony Partial because for me, he's in and out of games too much. He just doesn't. He's not in a game for long enough to me. Like Nicole said, we've seen glimpses how good he is on the ball. He's obviously a raw talent, and I always worry that if we get rid of him, it's one of them players that we'll regret later down the line. But in order to be one of them players, he's got to be in the game a bit more, hasn't he? I mean, Nat, do you get frustrated with Martial?
100%. I think his quality is unplayable at times. Like the games, like what Nicole was saying, and the game against City, even just recently, when we won at the Etihad and he won the penalty, and I just think, when you have that Martial, you think, oh, the world's at his feet, but then you have the Martial that sometimes don't even try and doesn't try, but I just
want to shake him.
Yeah, you want to shake him and say,
it's not because you dislike him.
Come on, get it together. And I don't know, because I think Ollie, for me as well, is one of the best since Fergie that we've had, one of the best managers that we've had. You can see it with all the players that he's bringing through. I mean, Greenwood, the way he's doing it with him, Luke Shaw, God, the way he's boosted him up. So it's not like he hasn't got them man management qualities to get the best out of him. It's just I don't know what it is with Martial. It's all within him, and he needs to do it. I think he though must know it's sort of now or never for him. I think.
In the words of Elvis, sorry.
Yeah. I think he must know it in himself. So
can I just say though, what I'm not saying, which way is just is that way? Yeah.
Yeah.
What she just said about Ollie, like I do think that gets taken for granted a lot how he is with his players, because we get some things wrong, and I'm not like an Ollie merchant. But I think we kind of take for granted the fact that the players are smiling. Go back a few years and have a look at them same players under the likes of Mourinho. Again, I'm not saying Mourinho's all bad. I'm just saying I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for that. So I just want to echo what Nat says and just times it by 100.
Completely agree. Look how many goalkeepers got at the minute, and he's got to try and keep all them happy. To be fair, like Solskjaer, his man management is obviously very good, isn't it? Like you say, he settled the ship. I think when he first came in, that was what he needed to do. He needed to settle the ship. He's done that. Now, obviously, we need to kick on and we need to hopefully win a trophy. But Webby, what's your let's say we don't make any more signings, we keep Pogba. Like, what's your realistic expectation, do you think, for Ollie next season? And I'll put you on the spot a little bit there, haven't I?
No, every year, whoever's in charge, we win the league in my eyes, you know what I mean? And it's disappointing when we don't. Obviously, it's been a few poor years, trophy-wise, it's a great chance to win. I know it's only Europa League, but it was a cup, what he needs. But
you're seeing how gutted I was.
Yes, people think Ollie's a little pussycat, but I've spoke to people inside the club. He's a very, very nasty gentleman when he, and the players that, people just think, look at him, he's
baby
a manager, United shouldn't be there, you know what I mean? But he can give it him, and just going back on the last one about Martial, on his day when he wants it, if he takes those gloves off in the middle of summer, we get a player there, which on his day, could be one of the best in Europe, and I'll say that, and I mean it, he's destroyed defences, but for me, he doesn't have those days all the time. Now, this is a massive first few months with Marcus being out, he's got to come to the fore, Cavani apparently is not back till Thursday, then the quarantine, so it doesn't look like he's going to be involved against Leeds on Saturday. So Martial has got to be up for it, and we know what he can do. You've seen it pre the last lockdown, the hat-trick against Sheffield United. He went on that scoring run. Anthony Martial needs goals. Every centre forward needs goals, and it breeds confidence. If he starts it on Saturday, and he stays fit and he's up for it and he wants it, we've got a major player back in the team, and it's great to see. Yeah,
what's your thoughts on the rumours that Inter Milan are obviously sniffing around Martial? Obviously,
they've got no money. They're skint like me, Inter Milan. They've got no money. Believe you.
I don't think he'll leave. I think because, like you say, Marcus is out as well. I don't think he'll go. I think maybe next summer, if he doesn't have a good season this season, maybe. But I do think he'll stay this season. Apparently, Fabrizio said that he's staying as well. I don't know if that's confirmed, but. Yeah, I can't see him leaving, and I don't want him to leave. I do think this is a big season for him, and like we've all said here, he's very talented, and we just want to get the most out of him. But obviously, we've got Sancho coming in. That might improve in terms of the service that he's going to get as well. You'd expect Sancho, especially if we get Cavani centrally as well, with Sancho crossing the ball in. Hopefully, we'll see a few more goals from that kind of situation. But we've touched on it. Leeds, don't know if you've heard, Nick, we put Leeds first game of the season at home.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, then I don't know where you've been. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing for the game. I know Webby
I've lost the plot,
Nat,
but I haven't lost the plot that much, mate.
I think all of us were licking our lips when we saw the fixtures and that obviously was released. How are you feeling going into that? I'll start with you, Nat, on this one. Like, how confident are you knowing that? I mean, Varane, I think, is in training. Is it Wednesday? So he should feature. I agree with Webby on this one. I don't think Varane will start, but I do think he'll be in the squad. Sancho, obviously, is a more realistic one for starting. Like, how confident are you going into this?
Yeah, I'm with Webby, you know, what he said about every season we go in it to win the league, and, you know, people are saying this and that, but I think we can win the league. Why can't we? I mean, it looked good on Saturday, and I know that was just pre-season, but, you know, Everton are no pushovers, you know, it's not like we just, you know, that's their last game before they go into the season, so it's sort of, we all should really be on the cusp of what it's looking like, so I think we're looking good. I think, you know, Leeds, I don't even know what they've done, to be honest, but, you know, I'm sure they'll good. Yeah, no, I heard they had a pre-season and the England player came back.
Leeds have had a poor pre-season, but you can bet your pound to a penny it's Manchester
United
away.
It'll
be a cup final to him.
Well, you look at last year, you know, obviously there was no fans in, and within 5 minutes we're 2 up, you know, we absolutely destroyed them, and they was absolutely gutted, you know. This is their final. I know Leeds fans, and as soon as those fixtures come out and they come up, they want to know when they come to Old Trafford, and they can't wait, you know. So we've got to be up for it. They might have had a poor pre-season, but if you look at Leeds last year up till probably say end of February, they was the fittest team in the league. They ran and Addiston chased, and we've got to be up for it Saturday, ladies. Because if we're not, we could come unstuck. You know what I mean? They could have lost 10 pre-season games. But this is Manchester United Football Club at Old Trafford. This is their biggest enemy. This is their biggest game. They'll run their socks off for 90 minutes. So I know we know Wally's going to be drumming into our head. We've got to be up for this game from the first whistle, or we're going to struggle. But I really, really fancy. We play our football. We play that football we played against Everton. I know it was only against Everton, but it was a strong Everton team. You know what you get with Everton. And it was like watching Brazil.
Leeds fans are going to be up for it as well, so I don't think it's going to be another 6-2. It's not going to be another 6-2, but
I would take it.
We'll win.
I'll take it.
Imagine Webby if it's 6-2 again.
I might even get the beers in hotel football if we win 6-2.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Click that in the chat. But no, to be fair, you are right. I think if we bring our A game, obviously we're definitely more than good enough to beat them. But I know it's the first game of the season, but you mentioned the pre-season form. Form goes out the window in any game like this, doesn't it? It is like a cup final. They're going to be up for it. I'm just hoping we can match it and be up for it as well, because in terms of ability, we're better than them. It's just about who wants it more in a day. And look at home, the fans are back in. Like I say, if you can't get up for
I tell you what though, so I've not been this excited. Don't get me wrong, I'm nervous. I'm not saying we're going to storm it, but I've not been this excited for years. Is it just me? Like, I'm honestly, like, I'm buzzed. I don't know whether it's like a culmination of because there's been no fans in and stuff like that, and there's going to be a full Old Trafford. It's against Leeds. We've finally signed Sancho. You know, I don't think I've been on since, and I honestly, like, I know we've signed him, but because I was so used to sitting here going and just seeing the Photoshop pictures. When I actually seen him in a United top, I was just like, this banter, like, because my brain just can't take it in, you know, because we've been waiting for it for so long. So I'm honestly buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
Love that. I'm going to ask you, obviously, we're going to go through a bit of a team lineup prediction, because we've already mentioned Sancho is training, but Varane obviously isn't yet, so it's unexpected that he will start. But the midfield is one that intrigues me the most, if I'm honest. Like, how do you see us shaping up, Webby, in that midfield against Leeds? Because Leeds obviously very strong in the midfield, in particular with Calvin Phillips. It's going to be a fight in there, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Cliche, but the game's won or lost in the midfield.
Of course it is, and it's, like you're saying, it brings a lot of energy to the game. And I didn't realise, you know, we've obviously not watching Leeds all the time. He's a decent player. You know, he's a baller, this kid. He's a good player. You know, and there was talk a bit ago that he was going to leave, obviously. He signed a new deal, you know, and he's got into the England team, and he seems to be one of Southgate's favourites, and he's in there. So for me, our midfield's got to be strong. We need energy. That's why I think Van der Beek will play. I think McTominay will come in. I think Pogba will play. I'm a big lover of Matic, but I just think his legs will start going, you know, and we've got to be up for it from the word go. I may be wrong. You might start with Matic. Fred might come in. You know, the good thing about it is that we're overloaded in the middle of the park, and it's a great thing to have. And you're right what one of the girls said before about Ollie's got a right decision, because if we're overloaded, it's in the centre of the park. Now, if you get that place on Saturday at 12:30, it's down to you to keep that shirt, because if you don't, there's 4 to 5 players on the bench and maybe 1 or 2 in the stand might not get a kit. I'll jump in for that Southampton game. So, no, I think he'll go Van der Beek. I think he'll go McTominay, Fred and Paul. That'll be my 4, with Bruno just behind Martial.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think that's a bad shape, to be fair. And Martial after starting centrally because Cavani has quarantine and he hasn't really trained. Nat, what's your thoughts on that, what Webby's just said? So he sees Donny starting. Obviously, Pogba gets a start as well. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Pogba is a class player. Like I said, you do want to see him commit. You do want him to sign that contract early. But, you know, we are where we are. Yeah. You can't not start Pogba. And then, like we said, there's no Cavani. So, yeah, Martial 9 and... You know,
Can we stop saying no Cavani? You're making me stop.
I know, sorry, but there isn't. Sorry, there isn't any Cavani. So you know what? As well, it's like what he said about it's on Cavani then to take it off Martial. So I want to see Martial getting a good brace. You know, or you know,
competition is healthy.
Assist. Yeah. You know, let Cavani. Don't just give the shirt back. Get him to take it off you. You keep your shirt.
Don't just give it to Eddie Cavani.
Yeah.
A good point here. Hopefully our home form this season is better. Last week we were 100% away, but our home form was atrocious. Fans will help, and Varane coming in should hopefully fix the issue. Lacking a CDM is bad. Time will tell. I think time will tell on the old CDM issue. I think if Donny can reinstate himself in this team as well, like we've already mentioned, we've got a lot of options in the midfield. It's about working at the best balance, and if Fred can improve his game on the ball, then who knows? But there's definitely a player in there. I think that's the frustrating thing with Fred. There is a player in there, but like Webby said, you want your CDM just to win the ball and play it simple. And I think at times we're known for overplaying in that middle. We're trying the glamorous pass far too often. So
love it when he shoots, though.
Troy. Turns into Fred Flintstone when it comes to shooting. I've said that before. Like, he just looks so unnatural when it comes to shooting. But yeah, Martial, I think we'll start. I agree with that one. What about Sancho? Do you think he'll feature at all? Nick, I'll start with you in this one. Can you see Sancho featuring at all at the weekend? I hope we do.
I hope so. I honestly, I don't see why not. I don't know if you've seen them pictures before, but it looks raring to go. I don't think it's still not going to sink in for me until I actually see him, and even then I'm going to be like, wow, he's playing for United. So I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so too. Nat, Sancho, is he going to play?
Yeah, I think why not? He's in there now, getting in amongst it, get the sort of creating and assisting and scoring, and that's what he's about. Has been brought in for, you know, his goal contributions. So, you know, I think that's what we've missed, a right winger. And I know people are upset over the CDM, but for me, when there was that chats going on, I would have said right wing all day. So I'm happy that he's in. He's so get him playing.
I think a lot of us are sat here like we still need that CDM. So although we're buzzing about Varane and Sancho coming in, I think that we've all got that bit of doubt in our stomach where are we going to get this CDM? And obviously the more the window goes on, the rumours have kind of slowed down now. But do you think it's one of these where we're waiting for people to depart before we do get someone else in? Because we've obviously got to get rid of a few players as well. There's rumours today that Delo apparently we want to keep him. He was one of the players that I saw possibly going out the door. I mean, Webby, who do you see possibly leaving in this transfer window? Because it's gone quiet, hasn't it?
It's going to be hard, you know. These players are on big dough. You look at Philip Jones, who's not been seen for the last year, on apparently 130 grand a week, you know. And for me, Phil Jones, when he was playing and he was fit, he was a decent addition, but you can't rely on him, you know. But who's going to check him, you know? You have the joke, Newcastle will check him, let's send him there. It looks like he's going to lose his number to Varane, you know. How must he feel with that? It's just a few, you know. We want to get some of these young kids out on loan, the likes of Garner, Levitt, you know. And get them the game time, you know, because they are good players. And one thing I hate more than anything is we let a player go, we don't give him that chance, and he comes back in 4 to 5 years and he haunts us. You know, we are overloaded with quality midfield players, but it's going to be hard to get out the door. You know, you've got to look at Phil Jones and, you know, does Brandon Williams, you know, Southampton want to take him on loan? Will that be a good move for him for the year?
I think so.
Because he's playing football week in, week out. That's what, you know, you look at the kid Chong the other night for Birmingham, superb game. But he's got to stay in that team, you know. So it's good that we get the right players out. But one thing is more important: we send them to the right club. Where they're going to be looked after. They're going to play. It's going to suit their game, and it's going to benefit the boys who go out on loan and the football club. So there's quite a few, who we could get rid of with a future of coming back. I thought you was dancing there, Nick.
I'm sick of flies. I wish I was dancing.
But it's like
everywhere.
Do these want to go? Is Phil Jones quite happy there? He's got a big contract, 130 grand a week now. Does a kid want to play football? He should do. He's at the right age. He should be going out looking on loan. But there's 4 or 5 there. But we've got to make sure these kids go to the right club.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you mentioned the kids there. I was at the game against Kiddie on Friday. Gal Braith was a player that stood out for me massively. I thought he looked like a proper silky player. He's one that I think alone would suit. But yeah, we've got a lot of talented youngsters. Hannibal's another one.
Love to see him in England, by the way, Soph. Love it.
Yes, had to. But Hannibal stood out as well. I think again is another one who I think alone, not necessarily this transfer window, but I think alone would suit him nicely. Very, very talented. But yeah, we need to clear some. I'm not going to say deadwood because I've got players like Jesse Lingard as well who wants to stay and fight for his place. Whereas a lot of people felt that he would be on his way out to West Ham. That hasn't happened. So I do think we need to see some departures. I just don't know who that's going to be right now. Seeing from this point of view, you mentioned the wages, obviously. But there's just not many rumours. I think Delo was the only one really I'd seen throwing rumours about.
You look at Jesse. He's in the same situation as Paul. He's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
The word on the street, he's going to run it down. No disrespect for him. I think his United's career's over, and that's no disrespect for him. I don't know him personally.
We all love him.
And at West Ham, it was a breath of fresh air. It was like the Jesse, who was the first name on the team sheet under Jose, playing week in and week out for England because Gareth Southgate trusted him, could have him in the under 21s. Now, for me, Jesse should be, I'm not saying go to West Ham, but look to further your career because you're a good player. You're a great player. Don't just stick and just hang around for a year and wait bye. He's lived my dream. He's played for the club I love. I dream that most nights that I'm scoring the winning goal at Stretford End. He's done it. So I wish him all the best. But I look at it this way: any club what lets a player go down to the last year, it's their own fault. If they've got that 18 months. If they don't sign by the January before the last year, I can't fault them. We've let it done to Jesse. We've let it done to Paul. Now, if they go, we'll be upset. But it's down to the club to get these tied down. If you're not tied down with 18 months to go, we're looking to sell you.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is our fault. You kind of shoot yourself in the foot when we get to that point in terms of contracts. Jesse, I totally agree. We all love him to bits, but I do feel like a move away would be better for him. Obviously, he's going to want to break into that World Cup squad. He's going to want to be playing regular football. And at United, you have to be totally honest and say, who's he going to knock off the perch? Who's he going to replace in that starting 11? And he's going to struggle, isn't he? I get that he wants to be a squad player, but he's a squad player who's going to play every now and again, going to break into that World Cup squad? Probably not. So he's got to think of his own career as well. And like you say, West Ham, he was in great form, wasn't he? And us United fans were cheering him on as well because, like I say, we all love him and it's no disrespect to Jesse Lingard. But in all honesty, he's not going to break in. I mean, Nick, can you see Jesse getting much game time if he does stay at United this season?
No. And like you say, it's no disrespect to him. I love him. Like Webby said, he's achieved his dream. Obviously, United means the world to him like it does to us. But I think it's the right decision for the player and for the club, for him to go somewhere and get game time and for us to ultimately pick our strongest 11.
Yeah, completely agree.
And I don't know, am I right in thinking if he's got COVID, if he has, get well soon? I'm sure he has.
Posted a picture, I think it was yesterday, saying that he's feeling a lot better. So obviously,
that's good.
And hope he fully recovers soon as well. But yeah, Nat, where do you stand on the whole Jesse Lingard situation?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, even Phil Jones, these get, especially Phil Jones, you would think that you just want to go out and play. That should be everything. You've seen what the lads in England have done, especially for Jesse. The way he tore it up, he was sort of on that cusp of that England team. And for him to just then, and that was just through 6 months. If he, you might not want to go West Ham, but there's teams there. I'm not saying that they're taking, but like Everton, someone like that around there, even though I was hearing stuff about teams abroad, and I know he's got a young child, so he probably doesn't want to stay up north or something. I don't know his whole situation, but you would think that you'd be pushing to get out. You wouldn't, I'm going to see how it goes. You'd want to leave, to progress, to show what you can do, because like you say, through 6 months, you nearly got into that Euro squad, and look how far they went. So,
he's not going to do that at United, is he?
Yeah, he's not. And forget about your wages. I know that they want to, you're getting paid so much, and if you go somewhere else, it's going to be probably half that. Yeah, forget it. You should go out there and want to play football. That's what everyone should want to do. You shouldn't just want to sit there and take home. Yeah, it's great money. Obviously, I'd love to. I can't say it in the same position, but play football. That's what you're there to do, and you're not doing it. So go out and play that football. You're multi-millionaires. You don't need. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's
hard, really. I think
me a bit.
I agree with Webby in that sense, where one major injury and that could be your football career over. It is a short career, and you have got to take what you can get. Obviously, I've played football myself, so you sacrifice a lot to be a footballer, and there is a lot of risk in it because you get injured and you kind of stuff, don't you? So, especially obviously at a lower level. But I understand that. But at the same time, I think if you want to break into that World Cup squad on a personal note, you've got to be playing regular football, and I can't see that happening at United. I really can't. It shouldn't be happening at United, if we're being brutally honest. But we will see what happens in terms of that.
Any Premier League team he goes to, though, he's still going to get a lot of money, and I think a lot of Premier League teams will still take him. Jesse, anyway.
Of course. Yeah, no, totally agree.
Tell him that.
Do you expect any more signings to come in before now and the end of the window? Like, hand on heart, can you guys see any more signings coming in? A lot of people say we need a CDM. They'd like a CDM. We were linked with Trippier as well, weren't we? Quite a lot. Apparently that's been binned now. But can you see any more coming in? I'll start with you, Webby, on that one. Any more players?
You never know. With United, it's with any club. There's. I think I look at the days under Ferguson and Gill. We used to get them in early doors. We used to bully clubs to get players. It was great. We'd having your player in end of story. I'd like another one. And the Trippier thing is a big United fan. He's from Bel-Air. But the worst thing what could have happened to United is Atletico Madrid winning the league, so his price goes up. You know what I mean? He was a regular. But there was talk of him going to sign last January, and then he got that betting thing through against him, and he got the suspension. That went to the pot. But I like Delhomme. We need two players in every position. I look at the Shawberto Carlos. He become a better player last year for me because Tellez was pushing him on, and before that, if he didn't play well, 9 times out of 10 he'd start a week later. But he knows now if he's not performing, he's going to be out. The kid had an horrendous injury. Was there that night over in Holland where he broke his leg, and he's looking at me playing again. But, let's have it right. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Red. Name a better left-back in the world at the moment because I can't think of one. And it only works well for us. So for me, do we need, like say, we're going to go back to that defensive midfield player. I'd love to bring someone in of Premiership quality, not someone like the young kid who was linked with us. Someone who's wore the T-shirt, who's done it over there for 3 or 4 years. Yeah, Kante and then Dida. I don't think we'll get any of them, but if we brought one more in, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, and Dida I think would be a great signing. I would like a CDM in, but it just feels at the minute like it's all a bit quiet, and maybe Ollie is happy to be content with the likes of McTominay, Donny obviously playing as well, Matic, and obviously Fred for another year. It seems like, I don't know, just for me it's just kind of a bit quiet, and I'm hoping out of the blue we can pull something out of the bag. But yeah, Nick, what's your thoughts on it? Are you optimistic about another player coming in?
I'm just like never at this moment in time. I'm not like I was a few weeks ago. Whatever, like, we're definitely going to make this signing. But at the same time, never say never because you don't know. I honestly miss the days where you would just like wake up and find out you'd signed someone. Do you know what I mean? It takes the magic out a bit for me. But yeah, I'd be buzzing if we got a CDM, obviously. But at this moment in time, I can't see anything happening until it happens.
No, it's right. It's just got a bit flat.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Nat,
maybe the calm before the storm, or maybe just the end. We'll see.
I hope so, Nick. But obviously, Lukaku's coming back to Chelsea, which is a bit of a mad one. But I think he's got a point to prove. He's coming back for silly money. Was it like 95.7 million or something stupid like that? So he's coming back. Do you think then? And obviously, I'll get to Webby and Nicole on this as well. Do you think next summer Haaland could be heading to Old Trafford? Because that's the growing feeling that we're going to go in for him next summer. And would you be happy with that?
100%, yeah. I'd be happy. I'd be delighted. Do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, I do. I know a lot of people are saying Real Madrid, but I just feel like it is sort of, I don't know if, well, I'm not going to say if Ole, because I know people are saying if Ole's still there. No, I think Ole will be here. He's obviously signed a new deal. He's our manager. And obviously kept in touch with Haaland. He's coached him before. Still speaks to him now. I think it's, I don't like it, but it's sort of set in stone. We're going down that path where we're going to get him, and I'm happy. I'm happy to
get
wait.
Me tingly, yeah.
Building it up, building that suspense. No, I'm happy to wait to get someone like him in, definitely. Rather than rush through it now. I think that's what Chelsea sort of did, didn't it? They just sort of, we want him now. You can't afford him now. Oh, we'll just spend 100 million there. No, we're gonna do it. And I think even City probably they thought Kane's definitely sorted. We've boxed him off, and they're sort of seeing that they've
do you think he'll still go City, Kane?
No.
Do you think Kane will still go City? No,
I think Daniel Levy, you don't mess with him. And I think he did it wrong by not turning up. And I think now the fact that's it, bang, door shut, no chance. But you never know. I don't know.
Did he not turn up and then say that he didn't not turn up?
It was already planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
You can't play them games.
That never works when I'm working.
Yeah, you can't play them games. Guys signed a long contract.
There's going to be a lot of big clubs who are sniffing around Haaland come next summer as well. We're not going to be the only ones in the race, so we are going to have to beat a few to it. Webby, what's your thoughts on the whole? Firstly, we'll talk about Kane and the whole City thing. Do you think he'll end up going there? And secondly, Haaland, if he did come to United, if, would you be happy with him?
Yeah, you look at the Kane situation. What's the point of keeping a player who's happy at your club? This is this window is the best time Spurs can get the best money for him. Next year it could go down a notch. There's no point keeping an unhappy player. What's the point? We've had it at United. You look at Lukaku, you get the pictures of him over in Australia on that bike yawning. What to jump down the telly and kill him. You play for my club and you sat there yawning on the bike. I would have swum. I would have walked all the way to Australia to get on that bike to wear that shirt. Right. I think he.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Let's go. He makes a great point there as well.
Yeah.
Bless him.
My ear's massive. Come back, Darren. I would have shouted me for calling him Darren. I mean Webber.
He's back. He's actually back.
He just disappeared. Him at the bottom now.
Yes, you wanted to get next to me, didn't you?
Yeah. So just going on the Kane thing, I think he will end up at City, unfortunately. Whether it's before, I think he won't play in this game on Sunday, and then I think you'll get it done before the transfer window. But I'm not bothered about Stockport. I'm on about my club and Ireland. I looked at Ireland last year, the 2 games against City where Sancho never played. It was non-existent, and he feeds off. I'd like to know his assists. Sancho to Ireland, they like each other, they get on.
Yeah, they're good mates,
he's a good friend of Solskjaer. People say to me, you won't sign for United because of what Keane done to his dad, but that's all rubbish. I think he'll end up at United. I think next season is the right time. We'll get him at the right price. I wouldn't surprise if someone's already down on paper that he comes. He won't go to Real Madrid because they're more skint than me and Nat are. You know what I mean? They've got no money. So I'm just thinking it's made for United.
And Nick.
So you're looking at it there and look at Ireland, and it reminds me of a young Ruud. Ruud van Nistelrooy is the best centre forward I've seen at United. Finishing power inside the box, deadly, won't pass to if someone was 2 yards away from him. And if we get Haaland, next summer, it'd be a great thing. Bayern Munich are sniffing around him, but I think there's something in place where it could be coming to Old Trafford, and Sancho's the first part of that jigsaw to make him come along and join him up and carry on the success he had at Dortmund over the years.
It sounds so exciting, doesn't it? It sounds so exciting. The thoughts of Sancho and Haaland at United mixed in with who we've already got as well. I would love to see Haaland in a United shirt. The whole Harry Kane thing, from the off, I remember us talking about it even before the transfer, saying he's going to City. We just felt like he was going to City. And obviously with the whole Messi thing, I did have a bit of a moment where I thought, is it being dragged out because City want Messi? Obviously that's not the case. He's going to PSG. So I do feel like they are going to get Harry Kane. But I think the question is how much are they actually going to spend? Because didn't they say they went up to 160 million or something Spurs for Harry Kane? I had
to laugh. Sorry to interrupt. I had to laugh what Daniel Levy's poster said. Obviously, he said, give us 100 million. And apparently City offered him 2 players, and he went back and said, right, I'll have Kevin De Bruyne and that Diaz. But like Natalie said before, the gentleman at Spurs, we've seen it with Berbatov to the last minute, getting that extra pound out of us,
Yeah.
And if Harry Kane does go to City in this window, you're probably talking 150, 175 million. And it's like you're saying, this window is Harry Kane's last chance and Tottenham's last chance to cash in, because next summer it could be worth 50 million. But I think he will go to City, unfortunately. I
agree. I do think he'll end up at City. But, I always said I'd love to see Kane at United, but if it's a choice between Kane and Haaland, for me, I think I'd take Haaland. He's a player that excites me. He's obviously young. And I just think it's going to go from strength to strength every season. He just seems to get better, Haaland. I mean, he scored hat-trick again the other day, didn't he? Like, he just seems to be on fire.
And
I agree. I think the service of Sancho as well. Yeah, he just makes me laugh.
One of them characters, you know, like when you think of like United players, like every now and again you need a big character comes in and goes down in history. Like, I don't mean to give myself goosebumps here, but that's how I can envision it. I'm just going to say it. So honestly, this is what I don't really care what city you're doing, because for the first time in years, I am so positive and looking forward to what my club's going to do for the first time in so long. So concentrate on us, one game at a time, starting with Leeds. Go on.
Yeah, I just want to big up to Tim, got a Leeds United fan in the chat. Let us know, Tim, how you're feeling about the game at the weekend. We'll give our predictions very shortly as well. But we have got a Leeds fan in the chat. But yeah, I think Haaland would suit United to a T, and the fact Ollie obviously knows him as well, I think that'll go in our favour. The fact we've got Sancho as well, I agree with Webby. I think that's bits of the jigsaw roll on, obviously, next transfer window next summer, and we shall see what happens. But I'm going to put you all on the spot. I'm going to ask for your score predictions for the weekend. We've all said we're confident, so I'm intrigued to see what people are saying. Nat, you said it's not going to be a 6-2, but I'll obviously in the chat get yours in as well, help people out. But Nat, I'll start with you. What's your score prediction for this weekend? And you're always positive.
3-1 Man United. Like you say, Leeds, good side. I think they'll score, but I think we'll go there. It'll be not easy, but we'll get the win, and 3-1, 2-1 Smith.
Tim's gone 2-1 to Leeds. Curler's gone 3-0. Nick, was that a fly or was that at the comment? Was that at the
No, I'm not doing it to your comment. The flies are doing my nothing. I'm sorry, they're staying on me live.
You know what to say about flies, Nick, that's all I'm saying. 4-0 says Lawbreaker. Matt says 4-1. Everyone's being positive for United, I love it. 3-1 to United, 2-1 says David, 4-0 here. Nick, I'll come to you next. What's your score prediction for the weekend?
2-0. I don't know, something's just telling me 2-0, clean sheet, why not? And I'm not underestimating him. It wouldn't surprise me if he scored and it got disallowed or something. Oh my God, imagine if I'm right. Anyway, 2-0 United.
Got 5-0 there. I would love to see that. And the fans in Old Trafford would love to see that as well. And then Webby, last but not least, what's your prediction?
I'm going for a 4-1 victory. I can see Leeds scoring. They've got I like the Brazilian kid Rafinha who they've got, who's been linked with a lot of clubs. I think he's a great player. I'm so glad that Shaw's back. There was talking with a busted rib, he might not be able to play in. Teller's being injured, then could Williams and Alderlin, but I'm glad Shaw's back. But I can just see us, the way we're playing, I know it's only pre-season, but we look so good against Everton, and let it continue. And I fancy us 4-1. He's not an easy victory, but I think it will be a 4-1 victory for United, and I'm looking forward to the game.
You know what? I'm expecting quite an end-to-end game. I'm expecting an entertaining game. We should normally for an early kick if we don't get that, but because it's first game of the season, it's Leeds, it's at Old Trafford, and the fans are back in. Obviously, we've got new signings. Everyone just feels so positive, and I kind of feel that, like from the Sancho pictures with training as well. I feel that from the players. We've had a decent pre-season. That game against Everton, I thought we started really well, and I'm actually expecting us to come out the blocks against Leeds. I really am. I think we're going to come out the blocks. The fans are obviously going to lift the players. I do think we'll concede. I agree with you lot. I think I'm probably going to go with it. I'll say 3-1. But I don't think we're going to batter them. I think it's going to be quite a tight game, and maybe on the counter-attack we'll catch them out towards the end of the game and extend it to 3-1. But I'm expecting an entertaining game. I'm expecting an end-to-end game. And we know what Bielsa's like. He's a good manager. Ollie, he's obviously got to bring his A game tactically. We've got to try and beat. I think they're kind of sitting Leeds and they'll try and counter on us. They're a very attacking team, and last time obviously they tried to expose us and we exposed all their gaps. So I think they're going to be a bit more disciplined this time. They're not going to do the same mistake again. I'm excited. I'm excited for the season to start, to actually talk about Manchester United again and have the fans in the stadium. I know we're all positive as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. I want to say a massive thank you to Webby for coming on.
Anytime, you know that.
I love you, Webbs.
We all love Webby. We love Webby. Webby, just share that your channel as well and let people know where to find you and what you've got coming up as well.
Yeah, Webby O'Neill channel. We've been going for just over a year now. It's going great. Me and Tony, we've probably over 90 years experience of following United. Some great interviews. Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Phil Neville. We've got a classic coming up hopefully soon. We've got Bez and Oweta on. That'll be funny. The Bleak Machine will be getting used with Bez being on, But we've had some great times, We were in a lucky position that we know the lads and they'll sit and chat to us. So may it continue for as long as it lasts, but we're enjoying it. And
doing well.
Let it roll, and it's a good laugh. Tony's a good mate of mine, and let it keep going on. But the Webby O'Neill channel, we're on YouTube. Give it a watch. we laugh. We don't slag the club off. We get behind him, and we enjoy the ride like everyone should do. Following United.
I completely agree.
Honestly, if you're not subscribed to that channel, subscribe to it, because I know Webby and I've met Tony, and they're exactly the same. It's nothing. What you see is what you get, and it's brilliant.
Completely agree.
And that's the only nice new I'm being now.
No, but I agree. Go and subscribe to their channel, and of course we've got the lovely Natalie on. Nat, again, shout out where people can find you, and also where they can find your articles as well.
No, that way. I don't even know. I can't do it.
Other way, mate. Right, I'll do it. There she is.
There. Yeah. So, yeah, find me there. All for United WSC as well. We do a lot of videos every week, every day of the week, and I'm writing for. I've not done a bit of writing for a bit, but it's the United Journal. So yeah, go and find out things there.
Go on, girl.
Obviously, the ball's going to be kicked this weekend. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more football for you to be writing about now. I'm sure that'll soon be back. And of course, the fantastic Nicole. We're loving having you back, Nick. It seems like it's been forever. Hope you've enjoyed coming back on, and obviously shout out where people can find you as well.
No, yeah, it feels like coming back home, and I can't really look because Nat and Webby, like, when I'm with them, I'm like a little kid. So that's why I keep laughing. Where's my hand? Miss Nicole Deans. My latest write-up is always pinned tweet, and then you can find me here on Real Ladies in Red. And just a quick one, because any Elvis fans in the chat, that's the second time someone said that they like my Elvis cut, but it isn't actually Elvis. I don't know if you can see. It's actually Ben Portsmouth. So if you like Elvis, watch him.
Check out Ben Portsmouth.
Yeah,
check out Ben
the closest living thing you'll get to him, and that's a lot coming from me. But anyway, yeah, thanks for having me back. Love you, Nat. Love you, Webby. I'll see you soon. And Soph, come down to Manchester so I can annoy you as well.
Yeah, we've got to meet up at some point. Definitely. We said we're going to have a Ladies in Red meet up, preferably before we go back to work. And obviously we'll meet up with Webby as well at Hotel Football. We'll check it out. But Webby, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. Obviously,
no problem. Pleasure.
Nick as well. Guys, if you are new, please hit the sub button. I'd appreciate it. Hit a like on the video. And if I have missed you in the comments, just drop a comment afterwards, and we always check the comments there. But yeah, roll on the weekend. Roll on Leeds United at home. Come on, United. Cheers, guys.